So Nintendo's still yet to give us any more Splatoon Raiders information, and it's probably too soon to start speculating on what the story is and what time it takes place, but I'm gonna do it anyway because, you know, that's what I do. Now, there are lots of theories out there speculating of when this takes place, but I feel like a lot of people are just blindly assuming this takes place after Splatoon 3, which I actually disagree with, and I'm gonna talk about that in today's video. Before we move forward though, I hope that you will subscribe if you do end up liking this video, because I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers, and if you like this content, you'll probably like all the other videos I make. So Nintendo hasn't said anything about when Splatoon Raiders takes place, and obviously we don't have very much to go off of in the short trailer that we did get. But it does seem like Nintendo possibly did give us some sort of teasers as to the timeline and a little bit of what this game is about before we even got the announcement for the game. Obviously I'm talking about the Sunken Sea Scrolls because that's where all of the good juicy Splatoon lore is in. First of all, I do want to debunk one of the Sea Scrolls that people think this is going to be basing the game off of, and I don't agree with this because when you look at this one image, which is the 17th Sunken Sea Scroll, the description of this is when smoke rises from the 7 rings, pink fish will emerge from the sea, devouring all the creatures of the land. That is clearly a reference to Salmon Run, actually the Big Run event in Splatoon 3, because we see these lights coming from the clouds actually during a lot of the big runs. So that's clearly what they're talking about here, and debunks the fact that people think this is Splatoon Raiders' story. It's not. The Sunken Sea Scroll that I do want to talk about is the second one that you can get in Splatoon 3. This one has a lot to break down and talk about because it definitely feels to me like it has something that might possibly be referencing towards this game, which would make me think that this game is not after Splatoon 3, but in fact before it. So first of all is what the description or text on this scroll says. It says, long ago our spotlands were almost washed away by a great flood. All was presumed lost until 3 lights appeared and united to consume the disaster. Thankful for their salvation, the townsfolk threw a festival of 3 portable shrines as tribute. So we obviously can break down the last part because we already know what that means when they're talking about the portable shrines. They mean the floats that we see in the Splatfest that Deep Cut rides on. Clearly that's what they are talking about in the end of this. But what I want to talk about is the fact that this says long ago, but yet clearly we can see in the background, the 3 lights are the symbols of Deep Cut. So this can't be too far back that Deep Cut didn't exist, which means Deep Cut existed and were the people that were the ones that swallowed up this disaster or consumed it, as it says in the text. So when we talk about a great flood and a lot of water, I feel like that just clearly connects me to what Splatoon Raiders has already shown us with a lot of water. But it's a kind of a bit of a problem for us because it wasn't a flood, it's just islands. So we don't see anything like that, but it's possible that in the end of the game or sometime in the game, that light in the middle that explodes causes a flood, and then Deep Cut saves everybody from it, and that could be a bit of backstory, or that could be what we're talking about here. But obviously this isn't like a for sure like, oh man, this is definitely it, like this connects all the dots. Like this just is something that I have a theory on. It's clearly not something I'm 100% on because I just don't know what Splatoon Raiders is going to be about. We don't have enough information from trailer to know this. But it feels like this definitely could be referencing some bit of it, because when we talk about the Splatlands and water and the 3 shrines and stuff, like that's all Deep Cut. This is definitely referencing Deep Cut, and Deep Cut is basically the main characters of this game. So to sum all of what I just said up, basically this Sunken Sea Scroll talks about Deep Cut, which means that it takes place during Deep Cut's time. We know Deep Cut is a treasure scavenging team, and that's definitely what they are trying to do in Splatoon Raiders. As we can see with the map, they're trying to get to some sort of treasure, which is probably that golden light in the middle. We know that they were treasure hunters before and during Splatoon 3, and they really haven't stopped doing that. So it's possible that this could take place before Splatoon 3 and is actually a prequel to Splatoon 3. I'm not sure when exactly or what time this Sunken Sea Scroll says it takes place, but it takes place when Deep Cut actually exists. So, I mean, it has to be able to be a possibility because they exist, and that's really all we have that ties this to Splatoon 3, really. But that's just a Splatoon Raiders theory that I have. If you want to see a video of when we might get the next Splatoon Raiders trailer, you can watch this video. And if you enjoyed the video and want to subscribe, you can do that here. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you all on the next one. Later, guys.